When an environment is set up against so many limitations, it can also impose even more limitations on itself. The framework that an executive works in has so much regulation and rules and requirements and also sensitivities. This is where coaching can be so powerful, because what I find is, first of all, when an environment is set up against so many limitations, it can also impose even more limitations on itself. So, for example, there's no limitation on caring and communicating candidly and telling people what's really going on with you personally that's impacting your energy at work. There's no limitation or regulation or law on that. And yet, because of this kind of stringent environment that they mostly work in, a financial service executive will take it on themselves to live within their own boundaries. And so that's where the coaching creates such a safe space for that. For two reasons, and I want to remember to go down both these paths. One, what somebody will say to their coach, they won't say in public, which is amazing, because some things need to be addressed directly and would otherwise have ramifications at work, right? So somebody might expose to a coach, or a coach can help someone expose a meaningful bias that could interfere with their career, but they don't actually have anywhere to even talk about it, to understand why they even feel that way or why they act that way. So from that perspective, there's an angle of this that's so powerful, because a coach can say, you can't say that, but I want to know why you feel that way. And I want to go, let's go there. And so when a person realizes that there's some history that makes them feel that way towards a certain population that they didn't even realize they have a bias for, now you're really getting to the core of some of our deep issues that aren't being addressed by just like hand slapping and saying you can't say that, right? Because you can't say that. They're just going to fake that they don't have that bias. And so that's where it can be really powerful. The other part, which I started talking about, there's a generation of like professionals in their 40s, 50s, who have learned early in their career, like when they were 20, that you have to act a certain way, be a certain way, what professional means. And again, it's too restrictive. And what it's doing is it's leaving the human being at the door. And this newer generation is coming in and challenging us and saying, we don't want to live that way. We want more transparency. We want more open communication. We want the right to like expose you publicly if we need to, because what you said was not cool, right? And yet there's this generation in their 40s and 50s having learned that, well, I can't say that, or I can't be that. And I get that all the time. People preparing for an interview and like totally like they're managing a performance. I'm like, hold on a second. Who are you? How do you operate? Stop telling me what you can do and what you've done. This whole thing on what, it's not what people care about anymore. People care about connecting with you, trusting you, feeling you. Who are you? How do you operate? And that's how I help transform people's stories. This is who I am. This is how I operate. You don't need to know what I've done. Do you really? You want to know who am I and how do I operate? So the coaching creates that space to like get to an authentic story where people can really feel you, and also uncover the things that you're ashamed to even admit you might be feeling, and can truly shift when you address them.